Joining the Observer on the air live couldn't be easier. First, visit bit.ly/obguest. Once you click on that, you'll wind up on this screen. Then, you'll have to choose the webcam that you want to use. You can see there's a list of them here. And once you choose the right webcam, you'll then have to choose the microphone that you want to use. It's all very simple. Then type in your name where it says your name here. And once you have finished typing your name, click the join button. Then you'll be in the queue to be on the air. It's that easy. Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Knessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 27th day of February in the year 2024. Sure hope you're enjoying your Tuesday, no matter where it is you are in the country. A gorgeous day here in the Northeast. It's 56 degrees right now. We're just outside a few minutes ago enjoying every bit of that springtime weather, and you can't beat it when you get it this early on. So hope you're enjoying the day no matter where you are. And as you do each and every week, you welcome me into your home so that I can bring you this week's news. But before I do that, we have a couple of guests in the building today. First, we start off with Carmen DeJesus, who is also with us, and Larry Hanlon. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. Manny Ventoso is also with us as well. And also our dear friend, Carol Manley. Good afternoon to all of you. Hope you're all having a great day today. How could you not with the weather as beautiful as it is today? As you do each week, we go over the newspaper. There's a few things I want to get to today, starting off with what happened last week in Harrison. The PATH station had a new opening at the new station house, and I was able to go over and attend it. It was a little bit of a chilly day, the day that this all happened, but you know, it was a reminder to me of two people who really came back in my mind that day, and both of them are no longer with us. One, of course, is Ray McDonough, who is the former mayor of Harrison, the late Ray McDonough, who died in 2014, and also the late Peter Higgins. The two of them had played such an integral role in getting this redevelopment off the ground in Harrison. Ray had a vision, and he tasked Peter to get that vision off the ground. And when you look at what Harrison has become today, it's a testament to the work that those two did, you know. And that's not to say they're the only two, but they were there right at the beginning, and unfortunately, neither one of them is with us anymore. So I couldn't help but think of Ray and Peter last week when this was all happening and the new station house at the PATH in Harrison opened. And, you know, it's just a gorgeous place. It really is. And what's really incredible now is you can cross over Frankie Rogers Boulevard. You don't have to cross the street. You can cross over right from there. There's an elevator. And, you know, these are all things that you couldn't do in the past. And it was not a very accessible location. And now you can. And when you see all of this coming to fruition, it is just remarkable, the transformation. Just think about this for a second. And in the story that I wrote, I put it to you like this. If you were to have been in a time machine, you could go back to 2006 when a lot of this began and take a ride down Frankie Rogers Boulevard and see how different it is now than it was just then, not so many years ago. The transformation has just been amazing. And what they did at the PATH station was incredible too. Larry Bennett, of course, was there. You can see his picture on the front page along with the new Hudson County Executive, Craig Guy, and there were a whole bunch of other dignitaries there. So this was a key moment in the history of Harrison as it continues to grow and get bigger and bigger in the greater scheme of things. And I was very, very fortunate to be part of that event last week at the PATH station. So we congratulate, of course, Mayor Fife, Larry Bennett, everybody in Harrison, the Port Authority for pulling all of this together. and for making this project a reality and bringing the Harrison Path Station into the 21st century. It was an important thing to do because really anybody who was wheelchair bound or who had difficulty walking couldn't ever use it because there was no elevator on that side, and now there is. And I had a chance to tour it with Larry and a few others that day, and it is just something to behold. So well done out of the Port Authority, and of course Larry, who was the Harrison representative at that event last week. Great job by everybody there, and I was happy to be a part of it. As we move on to the inside of this week's edition of The Observer, the second candidate who has declared a race for the 3rd Ward Council has done so. That, of course, is Councilman Renato da Silva, who says he will run to get that seat permanently in Kearny's 3rd Ward. Just a few things of housekeeping about that race. There will be a primary in June, the first Tuesday after the first Monday in the month of June, which will pit any Democrat who runs against other Democrats against any Republicans who run against any other Republicans. As of now, there are 2 Democrats who have declared their candidacies. Of course, the aforementioned Renato da Silva and also Al Santos's brother-in-law, Fred Steeves, has announced through social media that he too will be running. Now, I would probably venture to guess that these are not going to be the only 2 candidates that we see running for this office. In fact, we may see numerous people running for this position this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we had more Democrats, more than one Republican, and then after the primaries take place in June, whoever wins the Democratic nomination and the Republican nomination would then go on to face off against each other in November against any non-affiliated candidates who decide to run. They don't have to be in the primary, but they have to submit their petitions by the day of the primary election. I have heard some rumblings that there have been a few people who have considered maybe even running for the seat as a non-affiliated candidate. It would not be one bit surprising if that does in fact happen at some point in the coming months as we get a little bit closer along. So we'll see what happens there. But the 2, again, who have declared so far are Renato da Silva, who is the sitting councilman right now, and also Fred Steeves, who is the brother-in-law of former Mayor Alberto G. Santos. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens in this race for darn sure. And I, again, would not be surprised if there are far more than 2 people running, and it's anybody's guess who wins. And then, of course, whoever wins in November takes the seat immediately. If it's Renato, he stays there, and if it's anybody else, whoever takes the seat will take it right on the spot, and then has to run again in 2025 because they're only running for 1 year. The term doesn't end until the end of 2025, so whoever wins would then again be required to run 1 more year later. Before we move on, to say hello to my dear friend Pat Long, who may be outside the office right now. I'm not sure where she is, but I know she's outside, generally delivering the mail and doing a whole bunch of hard work as she does. At least she got some good weather today. That is for darn sure. Carol Hearn Manley says, just need someone who is not a follower. That is absolutely true. You need somebody who's going to lead in the 3rd Ward, and I don't think the residents of the 3rd Ward would expect or accept anything beyond that. Somebody who is going to go out and lead and do a fantastic job. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks and how that develops. In North Arlington, Mayor Dan Pronti, the Borough Council, have put together a fantastic new app. It's called NA Connect, and I had a chance to view it. I have a couple of screenshots in this paper right here on page number 3, and it's very comprehensive. I know Dan was really working very, very hard. Mayor Pronti was working very, very hard with other members of the council and residents of North Arlington to put together a comprehensive and very transparent app so that it's very, very easy for residents to use. And I'm going to tell you, folks, if you can't figure out this app, you probably shouldn't be using a smartphone. That's how easy it is. They did a phenomenal job of putting this together. And when I say transparent, I mean you can find out just about anything. The entire town code is on this app and available. So congratulations to Mayor Pronti, who did a phenomenal job putting this together. And I can't imagine it's easy to build an app. I know I couldn't do it. I don't have the ability to code for an app or something of that nature, but he did, and he did it with his people, and they came up with a phenomenal app. So I hope you'll check it out. Just go to the App Store on Apple phones or to the App Store on Android phones and search for NA Connect, and you will find it there. Ted Stevens, who is the Essex County prosecutor, has finally been made the permanent prosecutor. He was serving in an acting capacity for over 5 years. So we're very, very happy for Ted that he has finally gotten the position permanently. It's long overdue, and he will serve for at least 5 years as the Essex County prosecutor, and he does great work over in Essex County, so we congratulate him. And two other things, too. There were two sets of promotions, one for police in Kearney, and you'll see that there are a whole bunch of people who got promotions and who are serving in new ranks right here on page number 5. Chief King and Deputy Chief McPhee swore them in last week when the town council got together. So tremendous work there. And then one town over in Harrison, a whole bunch of firefighters were appointed to captain and captains to battalion chief. And we have their images and some of their stories right there on pages 5 and 6 of this week's edition of the Observer. So I hope you'll check that out. And we congratulate all of the people who were promoted in the last 2 weeks. They were all well-deserved. We can say that with absolute certainty. Now, I want to bring just a little bit of attention to this week's commentary that I wrote, taking a look back at a few things that are going on in the region. And I want to make it clear again that there was a council meeting in Kearney last week. It was nothing short of raucous once again. And we've made the decision that we are not going to recap these meetings because far too often we get accused of saying we're too biased in one direction or another. However, let me just put it to you this way. We want everybody to watch the video of this meeting. I have seen bits and pieces of it, and unfortunately, the audio quality was pretty bad. There's a lot of echoing and things of that nature that happened during the course of this meeting. But if you go to kearneynj.org, you can find the meeting, and you'll be able to watch it in its entirety. And there is no doubt that what happened at that meeting was absolutely embarrassing. There's no other way of putting it. And that is not to point any fingers at one particular side or one particular party or one particular person, but it was just awful what happened in that meeting. And I will say this as much as I can and as clear as I can, it's got to stop, folks, because it is out of control. There is so much bickering and so much arguing. And this is not a situation that is blameless by any means. Everybody's doing their part to make this happen in Kearney right now, because it is not just one particular side that is causing all of this consternation. It's all sides. It truly is. And somebody's got to take a step forward here and say, listen, we can't do this. If we continue operating like this, then nothing is going to get accomplished, and the only people who are going to lose out are the people of Kearney. So I truly hope that something or somebody steps up and realizes that the way it's happening right now is just not getting it done. It really isn't. And it is just sad to see that people who used to like each other hate each other now. And that's really what it's come down to. And I hope you'll take a look at the meeting. It's available right now. It was from February 20th, but it says February 21st for whatever the reason on the video. But it's the same meeting. It's about an hour and a half long. Watch it for yourself and you decide. But let's just hope that in the coming weeks and in the coming months that they can find a way to put their heads together and get this stuff stopped and do things that are for the betterment of the town of Kearney instead of so much bickering, yelling, and screaming on all ends. And it is on all ends, not just one. Keep that in mind. So check it out at your convenience at kearneynj.org. Click on the menu on the left-hand side of the website if you're on a computer or if you're on an app, and then click on Town Council and Council Meeting Videos, and you'll be able to watch it in its entirety. Of course, we have 2 pages of classifieds this week, and we also have plenty of job opportunities. If you are looking for work, if you have a place to rent, we hope that you will, of course, check those out. And Jason Bernstein has sports as he does each and every week, including an athlete of the week this week. Now, I have to do my little spiel right here where I ask you all, if you are on YouTube, to like and subscribe, because this will help us. We need to get to 1,000. We're approaching 600. We still got we're over 600 now, but we need to get to that 1,000 level. It takes 30 seconds to go over to our YouTube site, which is the youtube.com/theobservernj. So please go over there and like and subscribe so that we can get that number up to 1,000. We'll be able to do a lot more with you once we get to that 1,000 number. John Drimkowski is saying too much hatred on the political scene. Yeah, John, it really is. Unfortunately, it's universal right now, and it just accomplishes very little when there's so much hatred among politicians of every party. So nobody's blameless in this game. Nobody. And a game, unfortunately, it is. And that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Observer Live. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. We will be back 1 week from today with more news. And, of course, if anything breaks during the course of the week, we will share that with you as it happens. And listen, if you haven't had a chance to go outside yet, get outside. Go outside. Enjoy it. It is gorgeous. Enjoy the spring weather. And we will see you back here again very, very soon. From the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com, Kevin Canessa signing off for now. Take care.